So, as you can probably tell from behind me, we are still in Split. We have just been sitting in the bay for the last couple of weeks, getting a lot of work done. We're finally getting to some of the personalized upgrades and customizations that we've always wanted to do. And then there have been a few more warranty projects that have popped up. The boys spent a couple of days chasing another part of the generator provisioning option, so we would not recommend that. Today we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, and we're going to take Liger out for just a day of sailing. That's practical because what happened is yesterday we went to run our water makers, but looking at the water clarity, it seemed like someone had dumped a black tank somewhere in the bay, and we just did not want to run that through our water maker. So what we're going to do instead is take it out and just run it out in the open water, fill all the tanks, because we've also got a few days of poor weather coming up. It will be cool though. We've not been out in a little while. We do have a lot of days coming up where we're going to be at sea because our departure from Croatia is fast approaching, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to the next step in our journey, which I will share with you, but for now I need to go and learn how to anchor. As soon as the engines turn on, she's like, yes!
Is your hull moving? Is your hull moving?
What are you doing to help us go? The greatest hindrance to us trying to pack up and stow things for any time we move the boat is that. Tynan's trying to put things in the floor and Rose is being incredibly difficult. Alright, where do you go? Come on.
Good girl. Up the back. Dog hole. Good girl. Up there. Lay down. Good girl. Beautiful. We got about 52 meters of chain out, Tynan.
Okay. Where's the anchor? See how it's slowly coming slack?
Since we're motoring to get out of the bay, as well as getting a nice little bit of solar charge, we're also getting some power from the Stirling units that we have on the motors. So we'll be able to regenerate power while we're going, which is really cool.
Yeah, you're so sausage.
When we're out there, we'll calibrate the GPS for the Garmin.
Good deal.
As I mentioned before, we are actually in the process of getting ready to leave Croatia. So we've been in Croatia for almost 2 months now, and we are planning to head west. So ultimately, our cruising ground that we want to end up in is Asia and the Pacific. We've been to Asia a lot before. We love it there. We love the climate. We love the islands. We love the people. We cannot wait to go back to the Philippines and Thailand in particular, but also explore places in especially the Pacific, all these islands that you can't really go to unless you have a boat. So to get there, we are not going to go through the Suez Canal. We want to go west through America and the Caribbean first, and then through the Panama Canal to Asia. None of us have been to the Caribbean, so it's just an exciting opportunity to see somewhere that, I don't know, 5 years ago I wouldn't have expected I would end up. Yeah, it's really exciting to be moving on to the next part of our lives and our journey. There are still some major issues with the boat that needs repairing, like our crossbeam and our mast, but you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. We've pretty much rebuilt the whole boat by this stage. Customizations are underway, and it's really exciting to just be that one step further to the dream that we had when we set out on this entire journey. So so hyped and excited when like the helm gets unzipped and the chain lock gets opened, and as soon as the boat starts moving, she passes out.
I love that she's worked out this is a home and she patrols it.
So cute.
That's the best bit. Like, she's smart enough to know that the boat's dog home. The legs will go back. The ears will go up.
And the barrel bark will begin.
She will let you have it.
You might be able to make it out on the camera, but there's a Navy boat over there, and it's actually a British Navy boat. How do I know that? Because they were all at the pub the other night, the only pub in town that has cider, so it makes sense that it was full of British sailors. So there's basically no wind. We are motoring, but it's not too bad. The point of today was not to go sailing. The point of today was to find clean water that we can make water from. We came out of the bay next to Split and just found this nice spot. We're literally just floating and running the water maker, having a relax. There is 1 or 2 boat jobs we need to get done though. It's because we were sitting in the bay in Split for so long without lifting the bridle, it's got quite a bit of marine growth on it. Luckily the hull doesn't, so obviously the Micron is doing its job, but someone's got to get in the water and clean the bridle, and since Tynan had to get in when we were at Queensway Marina, I have volunteered for this job. The only problem is that the water is full of jellyfish, and I don't like jellyfish. I react when jellyfish sting me, so I think it's time to pull out the neck to ankle bathing suit so I can avoid a nasty sting. Yeah, it's definitely the hottest swimsuit you'll ever see. Back in Australia, I had a suspicion that I was going to end up in water with jellyfish at some point, so I bought myself a full neck to ankle to wrist bathing suit just for this occasion, and I'm so glad I did.
The Philippines is full of them.
Yeah, the Philippines was like everywhere, and I don't...
Like, you'll be in jellyfish.
I know, I'm going to be in jellyfish. I don't like them, I don't want them to touch me. Alright, I'm basically covered. I'm all dressed up, ready to go in the water. I thought about even putting a cowl on, but decided that was probably overkill and I just won't stick my head in. Before I can get in, we just need to move the boat because we were drifting a little bit too close to the cliffs. And obviously once I get in to start cleaning, we don't want to have to stop. Because while I'm going to do the bridle, but I'm also going to check the hull. Last we looked, it just had a little layer of sludge because we did put a new coat of Micron 350 on it in Italy. So theoretically that should not have any growth on it at all. She's so cute. First laid plans and all that. I had absolutely no intention of getting my hair wet, hence the bun. And I've just found out that the speed wheel's all jammed up and I have to go under and free that. Bum. It's a little bit chilly. Just a bit. Alright, so just to give you an idea, this is what we have to clean. It's rank.
You're scraping the goobies off the bridle.
Yeah, the seaweed's pretty easy to get off, but the barnacles are not. All that white is barnacles.
Yeah, so that really needs to
Which is what I'm trying to get off.
Can't you just like crack them off?
Yeah, they're just, some of them are quite stuck on, it's kind of hard. The entire thing was covered, like look, that's after 90% sand removed.
That anchor is just absolutely dope. Shit's all over the rock now. We've reset like 1,000 times now, and it's just about 5 meters and it's set. It's just so good.
Other than having to do a couple of boat jobs, it's been a relatively relaxing day. Water back that's running again at the moment, but we are slowly heading back towards Split. By being back in the bay, we can make the final preparations to do the sail from Croatia to Gibraltar. At this stage it looks like the wind will get us quickly out the Adriatic, die off for a bit, and then we'll get a big reversal that goes all the way out the Med. For now we're just trying to test the Echo Pilot forward-facing sonar system that we have. It's been a good day, sunset soon, and on to the final push to leave Croatia. Pretty girl. Rose, go see Trent. Go on, go see Trent.
No one coming in from over there.
At least we won't lose you.
Lose me?
Yeah.
I'm a traffic cone.
You are a traffic cone. Oh my god.
Trunk.
No, the girl version of this thing doesn't have pockets.
Yeah.
Doesn't the boy version?
Yeah.
Has pockets. Oh, that's I forgot that.
I'll drop there.
Get your anchor alarm.
Yeah.
Say when.
Yep, down.
Yep.
Rattles out.
I think it's set.
Wind low. Another successful anchoring, Le Capitan.
Oh, I learned from the best, the mysterious South African who cannot be named.
He sounds like he's joking, but the South African that taught these guys how to anchor did actually request that he not be named or mentioned on YouTube, so he will have to remain elusive for you all. You might be the captain, but she's the boss. We are now anchored back here in Split. So part of the reason we've chosen this spot in the anchorage is that boat right there. It's a local Split boat. The guy who, and then we've got a rigid deck lights just come on. He uses like no wattage either, it's really good. But anyway, that boat there is owned by a local guy. He seems to be from Split. He comes out to his boat on the weekends generally. But the problem is when he anchors his boat and leaves it, it seems to just drag from that end of the bay to that end of the bay. He comes in on the weekend, takes it out, moves it back to the start, and we do it all over again, which is unpleasant when you're not expecting him to do that and you wake up and his boat is 10, 15 meters off the back of yours. So we make a point of avoiding him now. Hello, Snooker. Baby cakes. You happy? Today could be quite an exciting day potentially, because this might be our last full day in Split. The weather forecast has changed slightly and now it looks like we could be riding the wind out of here tomorrow, which gives us 16 days to get to Gibraltar, which is more than enough time. So yeah, I can't believe like we're finally at this point. Like, pretty cool. 2 minutes in the dinghy and she's already asleep. The boys have just shut off to go and refill the gas bottle because basically you cannot get a gas bottle refill in Gibraltar and you can't bring gas across the border, so we're just making sure our bottles are completely full leaving here. I've got to go and do the last provisioning shop. We've got to visit DHL and just send off a parcel, and then all this stuff behind me needs to be cleaned up and put inside. So it's going to be a big day. I can't believe that you just got stung by a bee.
It's one of the ones that got hit with a fly wasp and we never found it.
It was already dead.
Yeah, it was dead.
And you got stuck by a dead bee coming back for revenge.
Hurt?
No, I was just standing there and I was like, I feel like there's an ant biting me. This is weird. And I was like, I wonder if I'm stepping on something, and I just like put my foot up and looked down, and there was like a dried, dead wasp.
I was hanging out your foot. Pretend you are looking up at predict wind and figuring out what we're going to do.
I'm literally looking at predict wind right now, figuring out what
So, what can you see? Rose looks very serious about the situation.
Oh, they keep changing in severity with like this kind of aura structure, this little spiral thing. I kind of get how the weather works, but I don't know what any of it's called. I don't really care though. They've changed it again, so they've got like this thing happening Saturday. So like,
So worst case scenario, we won't leave Saturday, we'll leave Sunday.